What's poppin', players? Welcome back to a Two Penny Games reaction/review, this time to The Last of Us HBO season finale. I am your host, Tavin Bothel, here with my Last of Us lovers. Say hello to the people, Connor, Elliott.
Hi guys, how you doing?
He's got a lifesaver. He's sucking on that bad boy right there. Woo! And
good.
say hello to the people, Phil, Shoemaker.
Yeah, I'm Last of Us hater. What's up?
Hates it so much he hasn't even
sucked.
played the first game.
Yeah, he refuses to play the first game. Just refuses.
Bad game.
Ladies and gentlemen, Last of Us Episode 9. Let me get my thing right. Last of Us Episode 9, Look for the Light. This episode was once again directed by Ali Abbasi. I'm fucking butchering that name. I'm emotionally wrecked. And it's just because the season finale of The Last of Us is beautiful. It's amazing. It's brought me to tears on probably 2 or 3 occasions there. And
Ali Abbasi, by the way.
Ali Abbasi. On 2 or 3 occasions there. And I, as a fan of the game, I just could not be happier with this adaptation as a whole. I think this is revolutionary for video game adaptations. I think it's insane that they pulled it off at this level of quality. That, you know, not only was the acting great, the writing's great, but, you know, the cinematography is phenomenal. The special effects are incredible. Makeup, just artistry from beginning to end. Episode 1 all the way to episode 9 was a phenomenal ride, and I'm just blown away that we have something like this.
Yeah, so I like to take the perspective of the gamer here and compare it directly towards the game, and I can safely say that I was not as emotionally impacted by this as I was in the video game, because I saw the video game first. I have a feeling that if the positions were swapped, I'd be saying the exact opposite thing, which I think goes to show you how good the adaptation was done. It packed the emotional punches that the game had just as well as it, did years ago, despite, me knowing what was coming, that sense of dread that filled me in the final moments, but also the moments of happiness and joy that we get to see in real time, in real life. It's so crazy. Acting was amazing. A lot of dialogue ripped straight from the game, and it was recreated here perfectly by especially Pedro Pascal. I think this is one of his best episodes. It's where he was at his most vulnerable, and it showed. And that was what they really needed to get from the game. And like I said, they did it perfectly. I don't think you could have had a better adaptation in this episode of what was what the source material was getting covered. I may have said that wrong, but anyway, it's great. It's good. It is good, and I say it is good because it is good.
Right on, Phil.
God damn, man, this is a good episode. I think that there's a lot of parallels as far as like what we're gonna be like talking about to the first episode, and about like just how great of an adaptation this whole series has been. And like kind of in the first episode, we were kind of just like theory crafting and like talking about how, yeah, this is probably going to be pretty good. And then it was definitive, like around episode 3, we're like, yeah, okay, we trust them. And I think we placed our trust justly. I think this was a fantastic ending to this story that they were telling. Well, obviously, like they did have a lot of course they're gonna have a lot of parallels because this is an adaptation to the game, I really, really liked anytime it was just Joel and Ellie talking. I think those were like the best parts of this episode. Just that there was that bit right after. Well, I liked the opening before they met the giraffe, but then like when they ran into the giraffe and they had that whole long talk, I like that too. I think that was my favorite part of the episode, was just the moment with the giraffe, and like that, like subsequent.
Oh, it still works. It still works.
And just like you see Joel looking at Ellie and just like even after all the shit they've gone through, like she still has big bright eyes for the world, you know. And then we come crashing down.
Yeah, we do. Fucking hell. Yeah, we expanded on a lot in this episode too, which is crazy because it's the shortest runtime of any of the previous episodes.
It felt fucking short, dude. Like I
You think
was
so?
like, yeah, for me, yeah, it felt very short. Like I was watching and we were like 3/4 of this way through. I was like, wait, how much episode is left? Like, because it felt like there's supposed to be a whole lot more.
Well, you know, they didn't fight 3 bloaters in an underground tunnel, you know? So, yeah, I didn't feel the runtime like as short. And maybe it's just because it was just so meaty. A great cold open. Seeing Ellie's mom, Anna. I love that they brought in Ashley Johnson for that, who had an incredible performance. Like, you just instantly cared about her. As a fan of the game, it was weird hearing Ellie's voice come out of that woman.
Yeah, when that first happened, I was like, I heard the Ellie voice, and I was like, oh, this is the mom.
Yeah, right? Like,
the usual voice.
But, you know, it's also symbolic because Ashley is the mother of Ellie, and now literally the mother of Ellie. But yeah, that was a great cold open, which bled into just the extension of that scene with Marlene having to shoot her and stuff, and all of that was so good. Some expansion on Marlene as a character. This whole season has had that, or rather, the first and the last episode have had that, and loved seeing all of that. Confirmation of Ellie having to kill Riley was, you know, expected, but you know, still like, oh man, she really did have to go do that, and that scene with Joel after the giraffe in the little like shut down military camp. Man, yeah, that's where I was like just straight up tears in my eyes, knot in my throat. Like I could not keep it together for that, because that is something that is very briefly like mentioned in the first game, and you have to like find a very specific optional conversation to even get cued into that element of Joel, and for them to expand on it and have that conversation and that line that bookended it of, well, I guess time heals all wounds, and then him just looking at her and going, it wasn't time that did it, and they both just want to cry and hug. You see it on their faces, they just want to cry and hug.
But that's not what the relationship is.
No, and it's not what they are.
Yeah.
And I really was just blown away with all of the emotional moments on here. It's funny, Connor, that you're like, it didn't hit me as hard as the game, but that's probably because I saw the game first. There were moments like that. I liked the scene the scene where Joel wakes up and Marlene gives him, like, tells him the score, and then I like that scene better in the game, but at that point it's just preference, and because I saw that first, and that's definitive for me. A lot of the dialogue was ripped from the game. Some of it was just, you know, tiny bit altered, and then some lines were, you know, taken out, or new lines were put in and stuff. So, and none of that is good or bad or anything. It's just different. And then I just have, you know, specific preferences of things. But like, what's awesome about this is neither version of this story outshines the other. They are both like equally justifiable. If you've played the game, you'll get something new out of the series. If you've watched the series, you can get something new out of the game. And the fact that they are truly just companion pieces to each other, like they just one just strengthens the other, is freaking awesome. And I think, like, I don't know if I've ever seen that in any adaptation ever, where there's not one that is definitively better than the other. Like, you know, I think of like Harry Potter, the books are better. I think of, well, some of the books are better. You know, I think of, you know, Game of Thrones fans, like, if you only watch the show, you miss so much because they just don't have time or resources to tell that story the way it's told in the books. Every other adaptation, I think, just falters, like, in one way or another, or just outshines its original material. And this one, it's like, it's not made one for one. It's close, but it's not made one for one, and they both help each other. And now, like, both are elevated because of these two different stories. And I just could not be happier with the product I have here. I'm sure I'll rewatch this whole show multiple times.
Tavin, correct me if I'm wrong, but the bit where they're just looking out on the city is supposed to like mirror the second episode. That line that she says is something that Tess said, right? Like we were talking about, like it has its ups and downs, but you can't beat that view.
No, because Tess is quiet in that part because she's internal. No,
I thought she was repeating something that somebody else said.
It was something it's got elements of the conversation that they had with each other when they're on the rooftops looking out at the Capitol building. And I don't know if Joel says the line, "Is this everything you hope for?" But she definitely repeats that line of, "Man, you can't deny that view." And yeah, it just, oh God, the freaking giraffe scene, man. I do have one critique. I wish we had imagery of a deer somewhere.
I was just gonna say, Tavin, you never got your deer.
I didn't get my deer, and I do wish I got that. I don't even feel like it would have been hard to have that. Like,
this isn't Red Dead Redemption 2, Tavin.
No, but the imagery of the deer is in the game, and it's meant to, you as the viewer are meant to be like, oh, she's thinking about that whole adventure she went on that from the last time we saw her and stuff. And I just really, really like that imagery, and I was sad to not see it there. I really wish it was there. Bella's acting is so good that you know what she's thinking about. You know what's going on in her head. But visually, I would have really, really, really appreciated seeing that. That's all I got. Everything else was great. Loved it all. I loved how we got them to the Fireflies. I love that some of the dialogue was expanded to answer questions that were asked after the events of the game. One, being like, well, did Ellie know what the stakes were? Did anybody talk to her about it? I love that they were like, yeah, no, they didn't talk to her. They just kind of drugged her, put her down, and then started working. I love that the conversation in the car after everything is said and done, Joel has to come up with a reason as to why he's bleeding from the neck. And he goes, yeah, Raider, and that's a question everybody had where it's like, why wouldn't Ellie ask why she's still in a hospital gown? And she asked here. And it's things that you didn't need in the game, but I'm glad that it's here. I'm glad that we get to sort of fill in the blanks there. And I'm just so happy with this, man. I'm excited. You motherfuckers are not ready for season 2.
Oh, people are gonna be so mad.
One thing that I did really like how this did is that spoiler alert. I don't know why you would watch this if you hadn't already known what's going to happen in this, but the ending when he was going through the hospital. Believe Phil, someone commented on it. I think it was, I can't remember which one. Yeah, it was Tavin, about how they completely removed really any audio of people talking, of, the thing that wasn't important, which was that, Joel didn't care about cutting through these people. He was single-minded in his goal, and the way that the show portrayed that, thanks to you not having gameplay to, obviously require you to hear things, made that a lot more impactful and made the whole entire scene just a lot more dark, especially seeing him, kill people who were giving up because he knew that they could come behind him. He was taking no chances at all. And it just shows, from the world building up until this point, the game does this very well as well, which is that Joel clearly has done many, many bad things in the past to get where he is. And you see that in its entirety, because up until this point, he hasn't had the need to be as brutal as other characters talk about it, particularly Tommy and his wife. And you see it in this scene, and it's impactful even more so because, like I said, no audio, just the ominous music that's playing in the background.
Yeah,
great scene.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
well,
crazy.
Yeah, and just the muted gunshots and stuff. Like, oh fuck, that was so good. And Pedro's acting in all of that, like he's cold. He is stone-faced.
Yeah,
He is focused, objective-based. Like, he is just cutting through these guys like butter because he's a man on a mission from hell. And
It's like it's nothing.
Mhm.
yeah, and I really really appreciated that the scene with the doctor played out exactly the same. Well, mostly exactly the same. They didn't bring extra notice to it. They weren't like, "Oh, this is really important." Wink, wink. They just said, "Yeah, we're gonna take that scene and make it, just as much as it was in the original game." Where like, I think it's exactly as impactful as it was back in the day. Like, it's just like, "Fuck, man, that's cold. Like, that's really fucked up. That's a man who you didn't have to kill that man. You could have dealt with him. He was weak. Clearly, he had no. You would have destroyed him like easily.
Mhm.
Like you didn't need to just straight up murder him like that." And it's funny because we watched it together this week, and I leaned into the mic after he leaves the operating room, and I said, "Hey Connor, in the game, do you kill the other doctors?" And he goes, "No," and I was like, "Oh." So I found out today I'm a bad person.
Yeah, you're bad. You're bad.
Yeah, because I fuck them up.
Yeah, there is zero reason to do that at all, and yet somehow you did it. It's like when you kill dogs in the Division.
I killed all
Psycho.
the dogs in the Division. Killed them all of them.
I
Shot
couldn't
them all.
stop them, Phil. Phil, you trust me. I couldn't stop them. Please. believe
Yeah,
me.
and I bet you killed the dog in Last of Us 2 also.
Oh, all the time, all the time.
Oh, those are evil dogs.
Killer.
Yeah,
be
you
killed.
have to. You have to. Yeah.
Funny enough, in Last of Us 2, sometimes if I can run away, I just run away. Save my resources. Save my time.
Yeah, allegedly.
Good time.
Mhm.
Anyways. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Okay.
I'm really, honestly, I'm so surprised that I literally just finished my collectible run for Last of Us Part 1, the remake, and got my platinum. Shout out, number 75, platinum. And it's still like, I've played the game 3 times in less than a year, and I'm still, like, blown away by this ending. So I just nothing but hats off and praise for the team that put all this together.
For sure. Yeah, it was fantastic. It's like you said. Now there's nothing to do on Sunday nights.
Yeah, right? It's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do now? Gentlemen, is there anything else we want to add about the season finale to The Last of Us?
I don't think I have anything.
No.
No?
Yeah, I think that's that. Especially if you played the games, you kind of know what it's all about because it's just a television adaptation of that with gameplay filled with dialogue.
I'm waiting for the internet implosion whenever people like watch the season premiere of season 2.
I think there's gonna be it's gonna be worse with season 2, obviously, but I think there's gonna be conversation about this ending. I don't think it'll be like explosive, but it'll be like while we were watching, like we were talking about it, and I was saying, yeah, I think season 2 will be controversial. I think this will just be contentious. There's just going to be people who are like, oh my god, I can't believe he did that. What a piece of shit. And there's going to be like, nah, I totally get it, 100%. And it'll just be a topic of conversation, just like it was 10 years ago.
Yeah.
People forget I was there, ground zero, but people forget that the ending to The Last of Us was contentious. Like, there were people who didn't like it. A lot of that faded with time. But yeah, there was a lot of people who did not like the original ending to the original game. And those people are wrong. Just like you're all wrong about part 2.
Well, less so.
you're
No, I will back you up on people being wrong about Last of Us 1, but 2, I don't know.
No, just wrong. Naughty Dog can do no wrong.
Hey, Tavin, how much Last of Us merch do you have?
Yeah,
in your house
especially
right now?
Jack and Daxter. They can do no wrong.
Oh, fuck! How much Last of Us merch do I have? I got a t-shirt.
There you go. See, I don't have a T-shirt. You're a fan.
I have a Firefly's pop socket.
Yeah. See, your opinion
No, I
is
don't.
just
I haven't
invalidated.
had
Oh,
that
what
for a
happened
while.
to it?
But you did at one point.
At one point.
So your opinion is invalidated because you're obviously
That's all I
biased.
have is just a t-shirt.
Yep.
Tavin, me and you, we go to a tattoo parlor and we both get matching Firefly tattoos.
I mean,
But the Firefly, I'm gonna be honest. The Fireflies are like people like to rag on stormtroopers and the Empire for being like horrible at their job. It's the Fireflies. Like when are they ever at any point in time efficient?
So Connor's getting one with us, right?
Oh no, I'll get like the Hunter symbol and be like evil. There's no hunter symbol.
There's
but
no
I'll
hunter
make-
symbol.
Yeah. Like, what are you gonna make? What are you gonna use for the hunter symbol?
I'll just do the. I'll just do like the Dark Souls dark side. I'll be special in that regard. Get it on my my neck or something like that. Who knows? Maybe my cheek.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been your reaction / review to The Last of Us Episode 9, Look for the Light. Let us know what you felt about the season finale down in the comments. And go back and watch the rest of our episode breakdowns and reviews and discussions. All up on youtube.com/@2pennygames. Remember, you can also catch us every Monday, 8 a.m. Central Time. With me and Connor on the 2 Penny Games cast, and sometimes Phil is on there, like he is this week, with our Halo Combat Evolved review, which is live on the channel right now. Go see how we felt about that. Give that some love. And this week, we are starting our hype series on Super Mario Sunshine. It'll be my first time playing the game. Phil's going to be showing me the ropes, guiding me through all of that. So make sure you check that out Tuesday. We also go live every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Central Time on twitch.tv/2pennygames. Check all that. Follow us on TikTok, 2 Penny Games. Follow us on Twitter at @2 Penny Games. But until next time, have a great time. And gentlemen, say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.